Hillary Clinton may not be running against Donald Trump in the next election, but it's easy to see that the former Secretary of State continues to be the Donald's worst nightmare, even when she's not even trying. Earlier today, Clinton humiliated Trump in front of millions of people on Twitter when she reacted to something he tweeted about her, giving him a taste of his own medicine. The real winner of the 2016 presidential election, by popular vote, of course, taunted Trump and tweeted a Mean Girls gif that was captioned, "Why are you so obsessed with me? pic.twitter.com/NK95Vox6K, Hillary Clinton, at Hillary Clinton, March 5, 2019. There has never been a more perfect, more appropriate response to Trump than this. The president's preoccupation with Clinton is absolutely insane and disturbing, and he deserved to be called out on it in front of everyone." Clinton tweeted this just 40 minutes after the president attacked her for not running against him in 2020. The president wrote, "Crooked, Hillary Clinton confirms she will not run in 2020, rules out a third bid for White House, or shucks, does that mean I won't get to run against her again? She will be sorely missed. Crooked, Hillary Clinton confirms she will not run in 2020, rules out a third bid for White House. Or shucks, does that mean I won't get to run against her again? She will be sorely missed. Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, March 5, 2019. Clearly, Trump can't let it go even when Clinton isn't posing a direct threat to him, and how perfect was her response? Hopefully, this will get Trump to shut up for a while as he heals from that brutal burn. It should be noted that just because she isn't running doesn't mean Clinton's going to disappear. She previously announced that she's not running, but I'm going to keep on working and speaking and standing up for what I believe. She's also clarified she would try to help defeat Trump. She said, "We can't take anything for granted. We have to work really, really hard to make our case to the American people, and I'm gonna do everything I can to help the Democrats win back the White House. If this snarky subtweet is any indication of what's to come, we are here for it." Featured image via screen capture.
Thank you, Anderson. I am Chris Cuomo, and welcome to Primetime. The president pulled another fast one with a security clearance, this time for his daughter, Ivanka. Democrats are asking for answers. The White House reportedly ducking. Can the Democrats take on all of this president's problems, or is the hunt going to backfire? We're going to bring in one of the top investigators. Plus, we have exclusive reporting for you tonight, the real crisis at the border. It is one the president isn't selling. It is one a wall will not fix. The people trying to keep us safe are worried, and I'm going to tell you why, only here tonight. And the latest candidate to enter the 2020 race is also only here tonight. Why does Governor John Hickenlooper think he is the one to take out the president? What do you say? Let's get after it. If you've got nothing to hide, why don't you comply? The White House rejecting the Oversight Committee's demand for documents pertaining to the security clearance process. CNN has learned from 3 sources that the president didn't just overrule his aides to get top-secret clearance for his son-in-law. He also pressured them to grant his daughter Ivanka a security clearance against their recommendations. Now, this is not illegal. The president has the right. But is what he did and how he handled it right? The lying alone is now a question. Here's what Ivanka told us last month.
The president had no involvement pertaining to my clearance or my husband's clearance. Zero.
Now, is that just an untruth that was intentional, or did she not know? Also raises serious questions about national security. Why didn't they want to give these 2 people clearances? Also ethical considerations. Sources say the president tried to get then Chief of Staff John Kelly and White House counsel Don McGahn to grant the clearances so it didn't appear like he was tainting the process. They refused, so he did it himself. What does this mean? Let's bring in a House Judiciary Committee member, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. Welcome back.
Thanks, Chris. Great to be with you.
So, indulge my cynicism. This president lies all the time. The people who support him don't seem to care because, frankly, they think you're all liars. They don't expect anything better from the process. So when you hear yeah, he can give security clearances, but he lied about it, not once, but at least twice. What does that mean in terms of oversight?
Well, I think for us, it continues to feed this pattern of abuse of power and of corruption, potentially, maybe not this particular thing, but the three areas that the Judiciary Committee is going to look into are obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and, making sure that we really take on this culture of corruption. So this to me is just another one of those. And Chris, if it were just one, that would be one thing. But as you keep reporting on the show, as we keep seeing in the news media, it's over and over again where there are these abuses of power, where the president is directing people to do things that they wouldn't otherwise do. It does have serious implications for national security, because in both those cases, with Ivanka and Jared, there were issues that were raised by their security checks. So this isn't just about, this is a serious issue. What were those issues? The American people should know. We should understand why those issues were raised by their background check.
Well, okay, I'm with you on that. So you're going to look to see, well, why didn't you want to give them clearances? Do you think you can get answers on that, or will they claim executive privilege?
I don't know what they're going to do.
Right now they won't give you anything.
Right. I mean, the 81 requests that we submitted, that Chairman Nadler submitted, are actually documents that have all been provided for other investigations, right? So this isn't new stuff that they have to produce. And in fact, it's relevant because it has been already asked for by other investigations. And so the Judiciary Committee has the right to look at all of this. Now, on the Ivanka Jared question, that's one more thing now. Obviously, when we submitted our document request, this wasn't something we were looking at. Oversight is looking at that issue. And we are really trying to be focused on the job that we are, we have a constitutional obligation to do on the Judiciary Committee. And that is this oversight.
You worry about how much is too much, that you're going after him on all fronts. The 81 number keeps getting out there, but there are going to be probably a dozen probes once you get into it. And if you don't come away with things that are very damaging to the president, I know that that's not what the constitutional oversight is about. I know that the duty is to look and oversee, but there are political expectations. You're worried about this backfiring?
I'm not. And again, the 81 are all documents that have already been produced. So we are not going into things that haven't been investigated in some way, shape, or form, but we are trying to put the pieces of a puzzle together. And remember, Chris, we haven't had the opportunity to do any oversight for 2 years. The Republicans refused to allow us to do any of this. So this is backed up now, thing after thing after thing. And the one thing I will tell you is Republicans and Democrats and independents, I believe, do not want public corruption. They do not want people to use the office of the White House to further their own benefit at the cost of the American people. And I think that this is a really, really key issue. So we're going to look into all of these, and I hope that I don't know who to believe, right? Trump yesterday said, "Oh, of course I collaborate with everybody. I do whatever they." He didn't quite say he was going to do that, and now they're already putting up barriers. I hope they just provide us with the documents. We have a 2-week turnaround, and then we start into the investigation. And look, we just want to get to the truth. We're not going to rest until we do. We have a broad mandate as the Judiciary Committee, very specific and broad mandate, and we need to make sure that we do our job.
All right, well, we'll see what you find. That's going to probably be the test. Let me ask you something else while I have you. Have you seen DHS's projections of what they think is going to happen in terms of flow on the border the next few months? They have.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I saw the story and the numbers that the New York Times had today.
Right.
In some ways, it doesn't completely surprise me in terms of illegal border crossings, because as you know and you reported on, once they started the metering process, which was really trying to stop people from coming in at the legal ports of entry, they shut down many of the legal ports of entry. I was down there on the border. I saw that. People started coming in illegally. And so there is a tie.
Right. And
when people are seeking asylum, the majority of these folks are asylum seekers. Those asylum claims can be processed fairly quickly. We have had ways to process these big surges before. It's not the first time this has happened.
Right, but we've never seen these numbers. I got numbers from somebody who's so concerned that they're putting the numbers out. They're going before the Senate committee tomorrow, the Intel committee, I think, to try and make the case that you guys have to do something. So here's my criticism / question, is you guys didn't want to make the the debate about the wall, the president did. But
Right.
politics wound up putting you in that position. So you guys are fighting over the wall is not needed, not as much as he wants, etc. I understand it. But that has been a distraction from a real problem. These numbers are going to frighten you. And they should, because the system can't handle the flow. And the rules and the resources have not been addressed by you guys the way they need to. And I'm wondering if after you learn about this data and after you hear the testimony tomorrow, if you think there's a chance that in addition to the oversight,